agree. Let's go, Brandon. I agree. Why? You're getting nervous, man.
But it's a class action lawsuit against all machines and that they're defective devices, okay?
We've ended the war on American energy. We were in war. And we've ended the war on beautiful, clean coal, one of our great natural resources.
I am not up to the job. And I mean that sincerely. It's not like, whoa.
Everybody comes in your grandmother, becomes in your grandmother, becomes in your grandmother, becomes in becomes in your grandmother.
I am not up to the job. And I mean that sincerely. It's not like, whoa. I am not up to the job. I am not up to the job. I am not up to the job. I am not up to the job.
It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree.
Seriously, hot sauce. I've been eating a lot of hot sauce, a lot of raw peppers and hot sauce.
Hello, users, and welcome back to the Above It All broadcast experimental experience. This is the show. It's a show, and it is also the show. This is the show. It's a little dark and moody. in my room. I have all the lights off. And we got a show lined up for today. So I'm still drinking my coffee, so bear with me. Where the hell is that Max dog? Maxie! Max! He's under the desk. Thank you for destroying everything, Max. Maxie, come here. They want to see you. It's Max the dog. All right. So, we got a show lined up for today. And doing a program here. I'm recovering from yesterday. And I am still consuming my first cup of coffee. So please bear with me. Users. Got some news to talk about today. So, what's easier? What's the best way to wake myself up in the morning? Drink coffee? Or talk about this absolute bullshit that I saw this morning. So, before I start this, I want to play a quick clip here.
I am not up to the job. And I mean that sincerely. It's not like, whoa.
I don't know what else to tell y'all. Dark Brandon, he's not cut out for this. So, on apparently the show called 60 Minutes, there's a show and it's called 60 Minutes and it's in 55th season. They interviewed Joe Biden and Joe Biden said the pandemic is over. It's over. It's over.
Mr. President, first Detroit auto show in 3 years.
Yeah.
Is the pandemic over?
The pandemic is over. We still have a problem with COVID. We're still doing a lot of work on it. But the pandemic is over. If you notice, no one's wearing masks. Everybody seems to be in pretty good shape. And so I think it's changing.
Yeah, the people that have COVID aren't there because they have COVID.
And I think this is a perfect example of it.
So I just want to say, just mark this for the history books. Which time is this that Joe Biden has said the pandemic is over? Because Joe Biden said the pandemic is over in March of 2021. He said the pandemic was over in April of 2021. He said the pandemic was over in July of 2021. He said the pandemic was over on Christmas 2021. He said the pandemic was over in March during the State of the Union. He said the pandemic was over. Didn't he say it again on the 4th of July in 2022? And now what is this? Like the 19th time he's declared victory over the pandemic? Now, I have a couple of things I want to show here. Here's a chart of cumulative excess deaths comparing to 2021, where the pandemic was not over, to 2022, where the pandemic is over. And we'll see that it's pretty much dead on, right? We got winter spikes, and we're about to head into winter once again. But I've got a thread here from Dr. Eric Ding on Twitter.com. It's got some good information in it. But there's a couple things here that I'm going to talk about. I'll link this thread in the description that you can check it out. This is the CDC's transmission level map. Now, again, they hide the transmission level on their website. They've got a community level on their website. Now, I don't know about you. I don't want to get COVID. I'm not going to make a decision based on how full the hospitals are right now on whether or not I'm going to go outside. What information does that tell me? Well, the CDC says that's more important than just straight up transmission rates. But anyway, this is a map on the CDC's website. They just hide it behind a bunch of filters. This is the map that they love to show. This is like the default filter map. And now again, community levels. If you want to know how that's measured, community levels are like the amount of people in the hospital at that moment, Where it's just like, okay, let's imagine I go into work or I go out to a concert, I get COVID. Well, I checked the community levels and it said that I was in a low community level, right? Then, let's say I got COVID. It takes a week, 2 weeks for me to get so sick that I want to go to the hospital or go see a doctor. That point, the community level's high. Whoa! Why? Because more people probably got sick at that concert, went to go see the doctor before you, which raises the community levels. The community levels do not tell you any information in regards to whether or not you can leave your house or how, like, what the safety precautions for leaving your house are. So anyway, they've got this really big thread that kind of goes into all of this. But if you've been watching my show, I've been covering this kind of stuff too. We're still at 3,000 deaths a week from COVID. I don't know what to tell you. What happened to 9/11? We will never forget. Anyway, and so, just while we're talking about COVID, I did make an appointment for the new booster shot. Hopefully I'll be getting that by the end of the month. I highly recommend everybody else do the same, of course. But the whole way through this pandemic, the government, Trump and Biden, are both doing the same fucking shit. They're doing the same fucking shit. The same shit. Donald Trump pretended there was no problem, shoved it under the rug. Joe Biden pretended there was no problem, shoved it under the rug. I don't know what to tell you. These are both, when it comes to COVID and public health, they're corrupt monsters.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree.
So anyway. I just never leave the farm. Cows don't carry and spread COVID. I'm a farmer, stoffler, stoofadoo-boo. Well, that's lucky, Sinquil. Oh, I'm still waking up, so bear with me, y'all. Ugh. How am I? I'm pretty good. I stayed up a little late yesterday, so I'm a little tired. So bear with me. New York City considers legal action against Texas over migrant buses. New York City is eyeing legal action to stop Texas Governor Greg Abbott from sending more buses full of asylum seekers to the city. Mayor Eric Adams said on Sunday at least 6 more buses from Texas arrived in the city Sunday morning. Adams also floated the idea of using cruise ships to house migrants who have been entering city homeless shelters by the thousands. Cruise ships? What about that fucking condominium that's just being like fucking rented out to Airbnb people owned by rich people down on the fucking, I just like you're gonna get a cruise ship? Like a cruise ship? Really? Really? You're gonna make these people go into the ocean? When there's perfectly good hotels that no one is using because, a bunch of real estate tycoons buy up a bunch of housing, turn it into empty fucking Airbnbs or hotels, and then they just kind of sit there unused because no one's using them because they're like 5-star fucking hotels, right? I don't know, man. That's a little weird to me. Quote, our legal team is looking at legal challenges we could do with Texas, Adams said in an appearance on CBS 2. We believe there are some options we have. Hold up, I'm trying to... Because when you involuntarily place someone on a bus, we believe that actually skates the law. Now again, it's arguable that Abbott and Ron DeSantis are kidnapping. There's an argument you could say. You're lying to them, saying we're going to solve all your problems. Giving them fake government forms. That's what they're doing. They're giving them fake government forms. So that when they mail the form or whatever, it is not going to show up to the proper agency. That's kidnapping! I don't know. That's human fucking trafficking, bro. So, I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, Eric Adams, I don't like the guy. But if he does something like that, I'd be into it. We're not leaving any stones unturned to make sure that New Yorkers are not being treated in an unfair way. I mean, I don't know what this has to do with New Yorkers. I don't care. Max, what the hell are you doing? What the hell is that? Max the dog's playing with toys. At least 11,000 migrants have entered the city's homeless shelters since May, including 2,500 who arrived on buses chartered by Abbott, leading Adams to declare the shelters at their breaking point, which I'm sure they weren't already before this, right? The city has opened 23 emergency shelters and expects to open 38 more, the mayor said. Well, that's good. City Hall is now looking at the possibility of bringing in cruise ships as temporary housing. To me, that's hilarious. Something Adams said the administration of former Mayor Mike Bloomberg considered to address the surge in homelessness, but never followed through on. Yeah, I don't care about the rest of this. But either way, I think somebody should sue these motherfuckers. Once again, it is literally kidnapping. If I tell you, hey, I'm going to bring you to like a fairy tale land, and you actually believe me, and you get in my van, and then I take you to New York City, you're going to get out and you're going to go like, what the fuck? Max the dog is sneezing back there. Max, why are you sneezing? But anyway, on this subject, I find it hilarious. I really do genuinely find it hilarious. Because I've covered this subject, and I get like an army of bots. Either bots or just like they're just so stupid that they might as well be bots. But I get like an army of bots that are telling me the liberals are trying to deport the migrants. Hypocrite liberals deporting it. And it's like, first of all, again, these people also, the illegal aliens. If you don't, we got to secure the border. Now again, the problem with the right wing in this subject is that all their talking points all contradict each other, right? So they're illegal aliens, and yet they're legally entering the border and going through the asylum process. We need to secure the border from the illegal aliens, even though they're not illegal and they're going through legal proceedings, so the border's already secure, right? We send them to Martha's Vineyard and the liberals send them back. Well, they're not actually. They're just actually taking care of them and sending them to where they need to go to visit their families, because most of their families are back where they came from, like in Florida, Texas, whatever. Right? So the idea, again, these people, lawyers are helping them track down their relatives in the country that are not in Martha's Vineyard. Like, a random Venezuelan migrant is not going to have someone hanging out in Martha's Vineyard, okay? Right? So what they're doing is they're tracking down their families and then sending them back to where their families are so that they can actually properly migrate to the country. And then motherfuckers are like, they're hypocrite liberals, won't let them stay in their house. Motherfucker, if I'm an immigrant and I'm trying to visit my, uncle or my mother or my father or my brother, I don't want to stay in some random bitch's house in Martha's Vineyard. I want to go see my fucking family member. Right? So again, these motherfuckers, so goddamn stupid. And I'm sure there's going to be some more of these fucking bots just fucking commenting on my goddamn. Now again, I have taken a liking to using the phrase bots to describe human beings. And I say this because I'm not actually talking about computer algorithms, though it is possible, and I do think that there are plenty of them that leave YouTube comments all over the place. But anyone that actually has fallen for any of the right-wing propaganda on this story, I mean, they are, how could you tell the difference between that and a bot? I can't. Secure the border, even though they're legal, the liberals are deporting them by sending them back to their families and doing what they want, right? Like, so goddamn dumb. And not, again, they're wasting taxpayer dollars on this. Like, it's so stupid. It's so stupid. So goddamn dumb.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
I didn't say it. Anyway. We are very smoothly transitioning, and I do love a smooth transition. We are very smoothly transitioning into the stupid fucking Republicans portion of the show, which has been like, I've been doing a lot of these where like just there's so much Republican stupidity to talk about. And doing a stupid fucking Republicans portion of the show. But we're going to start this out. Over the last couple of weeks and months and years, but especially the last couple of weeks in this area in specific, right-wingers, right? They have these, like, networks where they'll look up and find evidence of gay people existing in the wild or transgender people existing in the wild, and they'll dox them. Like, say, oh, this whole person's workplace is grooming children and, like, you know, chopping children to bits, like Matt Washing Machine is saying that the Boston Children's Hospital is, quote, chopping children up. Quote, that is what he said. He said that they are, quote, chopping children up. When asked, by the way, these right-wingers, when asked about how they feel about circumcision, oh, it's God's plan. Circumcision, God's plan. Violating consent, chopping a kid's dick off, that's God's plan. The kid growing up and consenting to any kind of procedure, oh, they can't do it. It's not God's plan. So 1 minute, you chop their dick off, that's God's plan. It's all good. When they want to do something, like, I don't know, take puberty blockers, hormone therapy, right, have any form of surgery that they so choose, all of a sudden, God didn't plan for that? What? So, anyway, fewer than 10 anti-trans protesters met by hundreds of counter-protesters at Boston Children's Hospital. So again, this is the same hospital that had bomb threats, right? They had to evacuate the whole place. There was some large-scale demonstrations here over the weekend. And, you know, I just want to say that it doesn't matter if there's only fewer than 10 people, because each one of these people is a representative of a much larger movement, right? Now, again, this protest here wasn't really, you know, they didn't have the Proud Boys or any other paramilitary organizations there, right? If they did, it would have gotten a lot worse. Now, I know, again, there's people adjacently related to these paramilitary organizations. But anyway, let's read here. This is from Boston.com. A group of 200 counter-protesters met a small contingent of anti-transgender healthcare protesters. That's what they call themselves? Or what? Like, I am anti-transgender healthcare? Like, why? Like, why would anyone ever say that? Like, I just don't understand. Outside of Boston Children's Hospital Sunday morning, the Boston Globe reported the 8 or 9 anti-transgender protesters were continuing a far-right campaign against the hospital for its pediatric and adolescent gender-affirming healthcare program, which treats minors dealing with conditions such as gender dysphoria. Counter-protesters arrived at the Longwood Avenue entrance at the hospital around 9 a.m. Sunday, while protesters arrived 11 a.m. The Globe reported both disbanded around 2 p.m. In pictures from the protest, demonstrators can be seen wearing black and holding signs that say things such as children cannot consent to puberty blockers, no child is born in the wrong body, and gender clinics harm children. So, like, a bunch of, like, really bizarre-ass, like, trading card, like, fucking shit going on. Like, they're all, like, they all look the same. But again, like, I just don't understand. Like, children cannot consent to puberty blockers. Well, they clearly can. They are, and they do. So what does that mean, that they can't? Like, I don't understand. Like, they're unable to? Or you don't want them to? Those are two different things. If they're unable to, that's a different conversation. They are clearly, if we look at the world, right? Look at medical science, right, as transgender people, it's very clear that they are capable and able of consenting to this. So that just leaves one option. You just don't want them to. So, I don't know, man. Stop obfuscating. Just say it. Like, I don't like trans people, and I don't think they should be allowed to go to the doctor. Just say it. I mean, they're pretty much getting very close to that. No child is born in the wrong body? Like, I don't even know. Like, that's like the I'm born in the wrong body thing is like some weird, like, cisgender explanation of trans people from, like, 30 or 40 years ago. I don't think anyone says that anymore. At least I hope not. But anyway, so that one is just hilarious. What else is there? Gender ideology does not belong in schools. My friend, you're at a hospital. Like, what? We're talking about schools now? You're at a hospital? What does that mean? And first of all, gender ideology? What does that mean? If you ask these people to define gender ideology, I'm going to play a video. I always come to this video. Where is it? I always come to this video. This one's a classic. All right. So this is a clip from The Good Liars, and they asked someone in I think it was the 2021 Virginia gubernatorial election about critical race theory. So I want to play this for you. Like, okay, now again, critical race theory, gender ideology, like just substitute. I gotta play this clip.
Most important issue in the governor's race here in Virginia.
Getting back to the basics of teaching children, not teaching them critical race theory.
And what is critical race theory?
Well, I'm not going to get into the specifics of it because I don't understand it that much, but it's something that what little bit that I know I don't care for.
And what have you heard that you don't?
Well,
that you don't like?
I'm not going to, I don't have that much knowledge on it, but It's something that I don't care for.
So anyway, that's pretty much every Republican. That is pretty much every Republican. Substitute critical race theory with gender ideology. That's it. They don't know. They have no idea. Like, okay, gender ideology does not belong in school. Okay. Do you want to go to the school board with that message? And if they do, right, do you want to, like, talk about any example of gender ideology being taught? No, because there aren't any. And then also, what even is gender ideology? What does that mean? Gender ideology? Is Romeo and Juliet gender ideology? There's pretty strict fucking gender roles in Romeo and Juliet. That sounds like some ideologue, like, fucking wrote that shit. I don't know. Gender ideology. What the fuck does that mean? What the fuck does that mean? Like, I'm serious. Like, but these people are fucking ridiculous. They're just fucking ridiculous. I hate this thing where they'd have these smug smiles on. Like, I hate that shit. But anyway, people showed up to protest against them, which is great. And again, like, we live in this kind of environment where a very small minority of people that are funded by billionaires can cause so much damage to mental health, to physical health and safety, etc., that it takes literally like 10x or 20x of an organic movement forming before these people actually, like, you know, face any consequence whatsoever. And it's just like, to me, it's just like, and then of course, like, the media loves to look at these people like, oh, look, the freaks. They're just given, like, media reporting. Oh, why is it that whenever right-wingers do a protest, media loves it? Right-wingers did a protest. It's in every outlet. Everyone's talking about it. Right-wingers are protesting. Right? When left-wingers do a protest, right, for something like, I don't know, like maybe the Dakota Access Pipeline stuff, was that in the media to this kind of a, like, degree? I don't think so. Right? When left-wingers do a protest over police brutality, is that in the media? You know, not really. You have to have, like, a giant story before people start reporting on it. You have to have a giant story that's already in the media. Then maybe you can piggyback off of it. Maybe you'll get one or two pieces. Right-wingers, they do, like, something like this, and they're in every outlet. Everyone's talking about them. So, I don't know. It's a little weird on that one. I think it has something to do with the fact that billionaires fund both these groups and the newspapers. And billionaires are, of course, right-wing crazy people. But again, anyway, like, this whole thing is just It's just, it's crazy shit. It's crazy fucking shit. It's crazy shit. Oh, the Queen's back. God damn it. Hey, Bodan. Let's go, Bodan. I agree. Bodan, have you, played the Overboard WAD? Because I started doing some speed runs of it. So I would recommend that if you haven't. Breaking news about the Queen being dead. What happened this time? Alright, y'all, so I don't really know where to start here, so I don't really know where to start here. I just want to provide everyone a real quick, a cringe warning. And I'm not joking when I say this. I know on my show I talk about cringe. I talk about stupid Republicans doing a lot of stupid shit all the time. But I just want to really underscore a cringe warning on this one. Like, this is like, I don't really know how to explain it, but I'm just giving you an opportunity. If you want to come back in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you might be doing yourself a favor. We have a really serious cringe warning. Alright. Local Utah Republican announces entry on ballot during YouTube rap video. This is from kjiz14.com. Kjiz without an I. A local Republican has announced she will be on the ballot for the District 12 Senate race. In a recent video posted on YouTube, Linda Paulson can be seen dancing and rapping about her campaign and political values. I have the video right here. Again, this is your last chance. Cringe warning. I need you to take this seriously. Cringe warning. Alright, let's watch.
Utah District 12, listen up right here. There's a new name on the ballot for the Senate this year. My name is Linda Paulson, Republican and awesome. Love God and family and the Constitution. I tried to get another conservative to run. Nobody could do it, so I'm getting it done. I'm pro-religious freedom, pro-life, pro-police, the right to bear arms and the right to free speech. I want less government control and regulation, want to stop and expose all political corruption where there's integrity, morality, accountability. Government programs should lead to self-sufficiency and support traditional family as the fundamental unit of society. But in schools, they're pushing for new beliefs. And just to clarify, as a female adult, I know what a woman is.
Like, okay, I just want to say, like, they hate transgender people so much that they had to break all the rhythm, break all the rhymes just to get in, like, oh, by the way, we hate transgender people. Right? Like, I just want to, like, this doesn't rhyme at all. Like, it doesn't, whoops, it doesn't rhyme. It doesn't, like, fit in at all in any way. Like, they had to completely destroy the structure of what they were going for. Just, by the way, we hate trans people. Just
new beliefs. And just to clarify, as a female adult, I know what a woman is.
What?
I love this country. It's a blessing to be free, but freedom comes with responsibility. The Constitution needs to be protected, not changed or disregarded, but Resurrected. If you share my values, if you like what I stand for, then give me your vote on the 8th of November. District 12 needs a choice. Let me be your voice, Linda Paulson. Linda Paulson for Senate.
So, there you go. That's what the Republicans are up to. So, there you go. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really know what to say. I think I'm kind of speechless. So I'm just gonna leave it there and let that speak for itself. But yep. The Republicans, folks, they are doing a great job today, and just in general. I mean, just great job. Environmental Coffee House, $4.99. Just being away for a week off here. I really miss you all. Winking emoji, peace emoji. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, what the fuck, Environmental Coffee House? You bailed. You missed a week of great shows. You gotta go watch them. Watch all the shows you missed. They were some bangers. Back me up, y'all. Last week, dozens and dozens and dozens of great moments. Once again, y'all, I hope that you all watched A Nightmare on Elm Street 4 last night, because I'll be getting into A Nightmare on Elm Street 4 review at the end of this program. But not quite yet. I still have some more stupid fucking Republicans I want to talk about. But once again, I'm doing a horror marathon on the Above It All show. Doing 50 horror movie reviews. They're all classics. Some of them aren't going to be classics. Some of them are going to be random new stuff coming out this year, last year. And I'm going to be doing some horror video game streams. Silent Hill, Resident Evil, all the classics. And so, follow me on Twitch if you want to see that. That's going to be coming very soon. Cyberpunk Edge Runners has been recommended to me, so I might check it out. I did do a review of Blade Runner a couple of months ago. That's pretty interesting. Lots of anime titties. Well, I'll be sure to check it out for sure. Alrighty. Oh, we got a Max dog here. Max, what the hell? Max, what the hell? Max, what the hell? Max, what the hell? Underworld? No, I haven't seen it. Yeah, if anyone has any horror movie recommendations, let me know in the next couple of, next like 5-6 weeks or so. Because I am going to be watching some classic franchises like A Nightmare on Elm Street, which is what I'm starting with. But I also want to watch some random shit too that I've never heard of. I don't know if it's based on the video game, but I think they're both based on the same source material. I'm pretty sure, if I understand that correctly. I could be wrong. Anyway. Republican gubernatorial candidate in Pennsylvania. What is it? Doug Mastriano. This is the guy that Donald Trump put on a rally for. And, I don't know. like, watch this clip and just, you know, let me know what you think.
And we'll do that by putting our right hand in the air on the count of 3. If you're willing to do this. Can you say what they said at Gettysburg? When you see us lined up as one, sweep down the hill to victory. On the count of 3, we'll bring our hand down as one. Father, I pray that indeed Pennsylvania will be like Little Round Top, and America will have a new birth of liberty. As one on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. As one! Thank you.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
Okay, so let me try to deconstruct this a little bit. So they're both, like, putting their hands up. Some people say they're doing, like, the Heil Hitler thing. To me, it looks kind of like they're trying to, like, give energy to Goku's spirit bomb. Like, what are they fucking doing here? Right? And then, like, this Doug guy is talking about, like something about, like, liberty, and, like, we're gonna, like, do something about Gettysburg, and, like, we're gonna start the country again. Like, it's like a religious thing. This is like church. Like, this is a church scenario. These people are at, like, mass or something. Like, what is going on with these people? Like, imagine going to see Doug Mastriano, and then, like, you put your hands up, you give them your energy, and then you scream. What do they scream at the end? What is that?
3.
Hashwa? What is that? Is that, like, some religious thing?
Like Little Round Top, and America will have a new birth of liberty. As one on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
I don't know what Hashwa means, but anyway, America's going to be born again, and you can trust these guys. These guys are going to lead the second American Revolution, or something. Anyway, vote for the other guy. That's all I can say. Goddamn. Almost out of water. Channel 5 that showed the Emoji Movie. That sounds great. Hashwa means I'm a proud idiot and I hate you. Sounds about right. Do I enjoy sci-fi? I love sci-fi. Alright, so there is a list that has been produced of the dumbest motherfuckers on planet Earth. And it's a rotating list, you know. It's kind of like the music charts, right? Like, they come, they go, they score high points on the dumb fuck scale. Sometimes the #1 biggest dumb fuck in America changes from week to week. But Candace Owens is back in the news, and she is really gunning for that #1 slot. And let's see what's going on here.
conversation that I was having with my husband about pornography. My husband completely abstains from social media. And if you ask him, he just casually says, because it's all pornography. He's talking about Instagram, he's talking about Facebook, he's talking about opening up a page and looking at the Daily Mail. But we've become so desensitized to it. So when I'm on Instagram, I don't even pay attention to the fact that actually, yeah, no, there's just nothing but butts and people's tits on the internet at all times. But we've become increasingly as a culture saying that this is okay. And so I wanted to have that discussion about pornography. I was listening to a Catholic podcast, and they were talking about how even the seeds that are being planted on porn websites, which I did visit yesterday, are all incestuous. And of course...
Whoa, she visited a porn website yesterday?
How even the seeds that are being planted on porn websites, which I did visit yesterday, are all incestuous. And of course it brought conversation...
So... Okay, I don't even know where to begin. I don't even know. There's so much going on here. I don't even know where to begin. Okay, so can we have, like, an argument about how everything online, and not just online, by the way, in culture as well? Right? Like, I don't know, like... I really, like, billboards, magazines... Like, pre-internet. We're talking about pre-internet. Movies. Like, television. Like, everything is sexified everywhere. Why? I don't know. Maybe humans like sex. I don't know. Maybe. It's possible that humans like sex. I don't know. Now, can we argue about, like, whether or not that's good or bad or whatever? And maybe, you know, kids shouldn't be accessing the internet at a certain age. We can talk about that. That's a conversation I think is completely reasonable. What's not reasonable is to just say everything online is pornography. Like, the idea of, like, oh, I saw a picture of a woman, it's pornography. That says a lot more about you than it does about anyone else. You know what I mean? Right? Like, if you see someone taking a selfie and you're thinking to yourself, fuck, I really want to jerk off to this. I mean, thanks, but no thanks, you know? I just, like... I don't know, man. Like, yes, the internet does have problems when it comes to regulating pornography. If you don't want to see pornography and you use the internet, it's going to be a little difficult, more difficult than it should be. But that has nothing to do with, like, left-wing conspiracies. That has nothing to do with, like, you know, leftists are trying to, like, plant the seeds to decay our culture. That's just, like, it's a natural byproduct of humans. Humans like sex. They like looking at sexy things. And so, kind of just naturally, it rises to the top of pretty much everything. I don't know, man. Like, to me, like, this kind of shit is just, like, I don't know. The right-wingers crying about porn thing. And according to her, she's going on porn websites and looking at incest porn. I mean, hey, Candace Owens... I visit porn sites every now and then, I'm not going to lie. But the first thing I don't do is go look at incest porn. So, hey, I mean, if that's what you're into, right, that, okay. But that is definitely not at the top of my list. But anyway, she's really gunning for that #1 spot. I really don't even. There's a lot going on. A lot going on. She had post-nut clarity and immediately decided to go on the Ben Shapiro show. What's everywhere? Porn or incest porn, Johnny Truant? 95% of the human population is sex. Oh my god. I hate when video games are sexified. That's the most evil thing to do. Bodan, you have, like, the opposite opinion of, like, all these right-wingers. Like, y'all ever see... I've never played Final Fantasy, but have y'all ever seen the fucking outrage these right-wingers have? Right? Like, because, like, what is it? Tifa? Not to be confused with Antifa, but, like, the main character's got the, like, huge titties in Final Fantasy VII or some shit. Like, apparently in the remake, like, she had, like, smaller tits or something. Anyway, I saw, like, these, like the Quartering made, like, 13 videos about it. Like, all these right-wingers freaked the fuck out. Like, remember when the new Tomb Raiders started coming out? And Lara Croft then had, like, small tits or whatever? And then they just freak the fuck out. They freaked out, these right-wingers, man. They really... I don't know. Like, personally, I don't mind it. I don't mind if fucking Lara Croft has giant fucking titties. That's fine. I think that's fine. Like, you know, whatever. I mean, look at men in video games. They're always like, have you seen Gears of War? Like, look at these motherfuckers, right? So, I don't know. Whatever. I don't care either way. But, like, the idea that, like, I don't know, giving someone smaller tits is somehow making them less sexy or something, like, that intrinsically, like, I disagree. I disagree. Like, oh, she has small tits, now she's ugly? What? I mean, who thinks that way? I don't know. But not me. I gotta, like, fucking sneeze. Ugh. Alright, y'all, we are going to enter into the Q-Cock portion of the program. If you've got any Qs, if you've got any cocks that need to be posted, post them now. Of course, Q-Cock stands for questions, comments, or concerns. So if you've got any, let me know. But very soon we're going to be jumping into the A Nightmare on Elm Street 4 review. So I have a lot to say, and I've also got to sneeze again. So just hold the phone. Oh, look. This morning I'm just like really sneezy all of a sudden. I really don't know why. Is True Romance a horror movie? Oh, Letterhack, who was posting earlier. I plan on watching the Exorcist movie while on mushrooms, and that is on the list. The Meme Channel. That's right. The fourth one is called Dream Master. That's correct. I mean, the only horror movie I wouldn't want to see is something that I just saw very recently. I will definitely... Texas Chainsaw Massacre's on the list. But yes, also I will be doing a twitch.television stream later if anyone wants to show up. Hereditary is a great new horror movie. That movie's overrated as fuck. You know, maybe I'll watch it again and give my 2 cents. I watched that movie in theaters. And I was not impressed. And I watched it again. I watched it twice. Because I was so unimpressed the first time. And then I heard everyone like, oh, this is the best horror movie ever made. And I was like, what? So I watched it again because I was like, was I high and I missed something? Like, what? I watched it again, Hereditary. And I was still equally unimpressed. Now, again, it's a good movie. I think it's good. But, like, the best horror movie ever made. I heard so many people, I saw reviews, like, it's just, like, the best horror movie of the whole millennium or whatever. Right? Like, to me, like, it's good. It's good. But, you know, I don't know, man. Like, to me, personally, like, if you ask me what scared me most watching it the first time, Hereditary or, like, a Paranormal Activity movie, I think Paranormal Activity is scarier than fucking Hereditary. I don't know. That's just my opinion, though. Hey, Andrea. 6'6" power. I gotta get, like, more people... Alright, hold the phone here, folks. Check this out. Hell House movies? I haven't seen the Hell House movies. I gotta get people to send me more, like, news stories. And honestly, I have to read more. So I feel like my shows have been a little shorter recently. I don't know, like, maybe not shorter, but just, I don't know, I feel like I could go an extra 10 or 20 minutes, but I don't know. A lot of people have recommended I do more like clip reactions So I've been trying to get more clip reactions in there, but you know. I gotta get, I do have a Scoops channel on Discord. So if you have anything in there, check it out, send it, and I'll look for it. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should do more news. I think that I should. But I don't know, like, what is better? Doing, like, less stories, but they're longer and more detailed? Or more stories that are, like, shorter and just more, like, funny? I don't know. Hellraiser 1 and 2 are phenomenal. I haven't seen the rest of them, but Hellraiser 1 and 2. Well, I prefer getting articles all in the same place. That's my preference. So if I can consolidate everything into, like, the Scoops channel on my Discord server, that would be ideal. But my thing, like, I don't know, I've been working on a lot of other stuff, so I've been reading the news on my spare time a little bit less often over the last, like, week or two. I've been working on getting the Spook 60 marathon ready, like getting a list of what I want to do. I've been doing more Twitch streams, and I'm also working on other secret projects that I'm still not mentioning, but there are secret projects. I also, the last couple weeks, I filmed a bunch of Cooking with the Bitch videos, so those are going to be coming. This week's is going to be great. You're going to love this Wednesday's episode. So I've just been kind of doing a lot of other stuff. The letter hack, rewind the stream. We just did like a whole 10-minute, like it should have been a review, but you just missed it. We just talked about Hereditary, you motherfucker. I also talked about Exorcist. Fucker! I haven't seen The Ritual. Reel On, it's as close to meat as you're ever going to see, so be sure to check it out on Wednesday. Your internet went out? Well, go get that guy back on your roof and fix that shit. Let him pray to God to fix your internet. But yeah, so if anyone wants to send me news stories or clip reactions are easy, right? Like, they are easy for me. Like, if you want to see, oh, this guy said something stupid, send it there. I'll check it out. I'm going to try to do that more. I've been a little neglectful recently, so I will try to do that more. Yeah. So that's pretty much my position on the news stuff. I want to do more, but also I am doing other things, so it's hard for me to be as attentive to find stuff to talk about. I could also maybe do, like, new segments, where it's just, like, I talk about one specific subject. I don't need a news story to go off of, you know, something like that. I don't know what, like, TikTok cringe is. I personally, like, I've thought about engaging in, like, drama on my show. Sometimes, you know, I've had, like, some Twitter drama on my show. You know, like the Disco Brian interviews, those are fun. But, like, most of the time, I'd rather, like, I don't like the idea of, like, going on my show and attacking a random TikToker. You know what or, like, you know, like, if they're famous, if there's someone, like, way more popular than me, then I'm okay with it, maybe. But, I don't know, that's my perspective. Or if they really are just so stupid. I mean, like, if they are really just dumb as fuck. I have seen Rosemary's Baby, but I definitely should watch it again. Is anyone here? Letterhack, I'm going to beat you up. I clip that, take it out of context, post it on Twitter. I am going to beat you up. In the battlefield of ideas. And then you can cut that part out. Thoughts on the XQC drama? I don't know what that means. I burned myself this morning. I don't know if this is visible. You see that red mark? I burned myself this morning. See this red mark is visible? I burned myself? Kind of sucks. I gotta sneeze again. Fuck. I don't know what voodoo is. And I also haven't heard of Nightbreed, but I'll check it out. Thoughts on gambling? I'm pro gambling. I think gambling is great. But yeah, if anyone ever has anything they want me to react to, like low effort, like, oh, look, someone said something stupid, feel free to send that to me, and I will always look at that. Stories that, like, require reading and research, like, feel free to send them to me. But one of the things is a lot of people send me things, but it's, like, in their own personal DMs with me, and, like, for me, like, again, I'm trying to organize my shit to be a little bit better to, like, facilitate, you know, my large amounts of mental illnesses, and like having like 19 trillion DMs with people where each one sent me like a story, and like that, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. Did I react to the drawing? I mean, I think I retweeted it. Retro Boomer, I thought I'll add you. Hold up. I'll do a clean sweep after and add everyone else. Let me make a note. Also, I don't know if it was from the start, though. Because if it was from the start, you'd be there. So I think you're lying about the amount of time. But I will add you. I'm so sad the queen is dead. Oh, no. The queen died? Oh, fuck. Anyway, I'll do another round of Q-Cock in a moment here. But for now, last night, that's right, folks, A Nightmare on Elm Street number 4, The Dream Master. So, I mean, this movie, like, I don't know, like, once again, I just gotta say, before we start, the posters, the Nightmare on Elm Street posters, man, I want that shit on my wall. Does anyone know where I can find the movie posters for a Nightmare on Elm Street series? Because all of these are banger after banger. It's just great artwork. I love it. I love the posters for these movies. I just think they're phenomenal. But once again, here we are in the A Nightmare on Elm Street series, the franchise that is really long. And it's all good. So, of course, if you're watching this and you haven't seen my reviews for 1, 2, and 3, go check those out. And once again, I will say tonight I'll be watching A Nightmare on Elm Street 5. And so if you want to watch with me, or if you want to try to catch up and do whatever, I will be watching one horror movie a night from now up until Halloween. Unless it, like, you know, I want to do some days where I'm just picking something totally at random, so I won't announce those, but for everything else, I'll announce it. But anyway, A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master. One thing I love about the A Nightmare on Elm Street movies is how, like, certain characters will last for multiple movies, but they usually end up dying off, right? So in 1 and 3, you have the main character from 1 that shows up as like a mentor in 3 and then dies in 3. But the people that, like, the Elm Street children that she mentored in 3 live on. Some of them die, some of them live on in 4, and then they get knocked off in 4, but then they transfer their power to someone else in 4. So 4 is called the Dream Master. Now, originally they talk about, oh, it's like a rhyme or something for you to, like, become lucid in your dream. And then it kind of turns into, like, a thing where, like, one of the characters basically starts taking on the powers. so to speak. Now, again, we're talking about powers. We're talking about dream powers. And that's what's interesting about the A Nightmare on Elm Street series, because a lot of its contemporaries, like Friday the 13th, most notably, Halloween, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, a lot of these other franchises, right? They're less magical and more grounded in reality, even if, like, you know, Michael Myers is a magical being of some kind, or like, you know, like Candyman, a magical being of some kind. But other than that, like, they're pretty much still grounded in reality. Whereas A Nightmare on Elm Street, like, most of the, well, not most, but a good portion of the action takes place in the dream world. And so, like, there's less rules, right? So, like, when someone gets killed by Freddy, sure, they're going to give the Dream Master their powers. And what are their powers? I don't know. Like, you put on a cool studded belt, and then now you got powers. You can do, like, some jump kicks or whatever, right? My favorite part of this, well, I don't know about favorite, but I always start every part with my favorite part. But one of my things that I loved was that invisible fight scene where the one kid is getting killed, but, like, they love, like, doing, like, martial arts or whatever. So, but, like Freddy Krueger's invisible, so it's just him, like, right? Like, I mean, like, I don't know. They were probably in the writer's room and we're like, okay, so our budget is going down for these movies. What are we going to do? Oh, I know. Let's do, like, a 5-minute invisible fight scene where we don't even need to have Freddy Krueger on screen. Oh, sounds great. Let's throw it in. And so, I don't know. I love the deaths in this movie, because I love how, like, again, I love the smooth transition from the characters of Dream Warriors, and then they're all, like, characters in Dream Master for, like, the first half, and then they start dying off, and then, you know, again, they start giving their powers to Kristen, and then Kristen, who's the character from the third movie, gives her powers to Alice, who's the new character in the fourth movie, who's, like, the sister of Kristen's boyfriend or some shit. That's how they know each other. Anyway, the rules, I mean, again, Freddy dies again in some really silly way. Honestly, I forget how he dies in this movie. It's some shit. Like, some, like, dream bullshit. Anyway, he's coming back. You know, there's a fifth movie. I'm going to be watching that tonight. But anyway, he's coming back. But one of the things I love is when the characters carry from sequel to sequel. I love that kind of thing. A lot of slasher movies that I've seen are like, you know, there's a new cast for every film or whatever. Whereas Nightmare on Elm Street, they love to share the cast a little bit. I just think it's really good. Yeah, Freddy, the character of Freddy, Fredward, is a lot more silly in part 4 than any of the previous parts. I mean, there's always that kind of, like, layer of comedy and goofiness that Freddy kind of portrays. But in this one, I mean, like, you got the one scene with the sunglasses where Freddy puts on the sunglasses. I mean, like, that's a great scene. I don't know what else to tell you. Freddy in fucking shades is just, it's really good. Yeah, like, this one definitely gets a lot more goofy, right? And then you have the Alice, who's the Dream Master now, and she's got, like, these powers where she can do, like, fucking flips and kicks in the air, and it's just, like, it's interesting, it's super cool. I enjoy it. I think A Nightmare on Elm Street is a great series, and, you know, for me, this is why I'm starting this horror marathon with A Nightmare on Elm Street. It's been a long time since I've watched every single one in the series. Every once in a while, I'll usually, like, watch one of them, just pick whichever one. But this time, I decided, you know what, just refresh my memory. Let's watch all of them. And so, again, they're all a lot better than I remembered, to be honest. Like, I remember, like, 3 being my favorite, and I remember bits and pieces from all of them. But, like, yeah, 4 is a solid entry. I would say that, like, the quality, like, you know, I don't like doing rankings or, like, number ratings. But as far as quality, I think that A Nightmare on Elm Street sequels all have, like, a very similar quality, where, like, they go down, like, they get a little goofier, but then they kind of reel it back in. They get a little more violent, you know, in some ways, but also it takes place in a dream, so is it really violent? Who knows, right? But I think this is a great. One of the best parts in this movie is when Kristen's mom drugs her with sleeping pills, And then now imagine you're Kristen's mom, and the last words that your child ever says to you is, "You just murdered me, Mom. I hope you have to think about this," or whatever she said. But the key phrase was, "You just murdered me." And then she runs up to her bedroom, falls asleep, and then Freddy kills her. Like, imagine that mother is going to have one fucked up life. You know what I mean? Like, she drugs her kid, which is like already pretty fucked up, but like she thinks she's doing it for a good reason. And then her kid's final words to her is, "You just murdered me." And at the time, she's thinking, oh, what an overreaction. And then she ends up dying. I mean, damn, I wouldn't want to be that mom, I'm telling you. But also, Kristen, I mean, as far as getting final words in, those are pretty good on the last words. You're going to fuck your mom up for the rest of her life for sure. And I'm guessing that's the intention, because she literally just murdered you for no reason. But again, I just love how, like, the parents in these movies are always so fucking stupid. Like, even the dad from part 1, and then he's also in part 3, right? Like, even he's pretty stupid. Like, he knows that, like, he saw his wife get absorbed by, like, the Gone Zone or whatever, and even he's still, like, weird about it. Like, I don't know. It's just, like, I don't know. It's these characters, don't analyze them too much. Anyway, so we're back to the Dream Master. So Alice is, like, the main... She starts as, like, a side character. Like, she's really not... Like, I mean, she has, like, the intro scene or whatever, or something like that. Like, she's, you know... But, like, she's really kind of, like, a side character. Kristen is kind of the main character, and then she dies and passes it on. So it's, like, you get to see the torch passing in the movie as opposed to, like, in between the movies, you know? Sometimes these horror franchises will be like, oh, there's a new main character, but they're in between the movies. I like when it's in the movies. Anyway, yeah, I mean, I think A Nightmare on Elm Street's a banger. It's a banger franchise, and I'm excited to watch part 5. If you want to watch part 5 tonight and show up tomorrow for the review, that would be great. If not, well, I mean, I'm going to talk about it regardless. But yeah, I mean, there you go. So once again, I will be going through all of the A Nightmare on Elm Street films, and then I'll be getting into some other stuff, and I will take more requests in October. And I've also, once again, I have to say it, I will be doing some horror video game streams on twitch.tv. So I'm going to be playing Silent Hills, going to be playing Resident Evils, some other stuff I've got up my sleeve, but, you know, I like to throw the obvious ones out there, and the other ones may be a surprise. They might not be a surprise. It depends. And so if you want to check that out, I will be uploading the archives to YouTube as well. Yeah, we're doing a lot. I'm doing a lot this year. And I'm excited. I love horror. It's my favorite genre, and I'm excited to learn more. Every time I do one of these, I learn more. I watch something new, play something new, and you know, there you go. And that's all I got. So. All right, y'all, we're back in second Q-Cock. I'm pretty much done here, so if anyone has any comments, questions, or concerns. Also, if you want to contribute money to the horror movie collection fund, some of these movies are a little bit more difficult to track down than I want to end up watching this year. And so if you want to help me, like, buy them on Blu-ray or DVD, or, you know, pay for another streaming service for a couple months or whatever, I would appreciate that. That'd be super cool. Obviously, it's optional. But, you know, some of these are a little hard to find. And so if you want to contribute, that would be great. If not, that's cool. Donald James, do you ever have to stream on mute or something? Like, are you, like, experiencing some mental health crisis of some kind? Yes, Cooking with the Bitch is back this Wednesday. I have not seen the new Candyman. I actually haven't seen all the Candymans. I've seen the original, and I think I've seen the second one. But I know that there's 1 or 2 extra, and then there's a remake. My abuser has been on vacation for 2 weeks. Well, fuck him. Candy's man is the correct plural. I'm not sure about that. Prefer Candymans? But yeah, if anyone does have any recommendations, feel free to just post them in the chat every day. Like, you know, feel free to keep doing the same recommendations every day until I tell you what my response is. I have not seen Basket Case. Yeah, Andrew Kohler. Well, guess what? I, on the other hand, am not amused by your antics. I believe your antics are offensive. They're anti-American. And more importantly, they're just not good. So settle down with your antics, and or else. And that's pretty much all I have to say on that one. You got some antics, you know, and what am I cooking today? I can't tell you that. I'm sorry. What am I talking about? What? Donald James, are you okay? You asked, like, what movie am I reviewing, like, during the movie review. You asked, what movie am I gonna fucking watch tonight during the movie review, where I say I'm watching part 4 last night, and then I'm gonna watch part 5. What do you think I'm gonna do after Nightmare on Elm Street 4, motherfucker? What do you think I'm gonna do? Part 5, asshole! Come on! Child's Play is another good franchise. I don't know if I'm going to do it this year, but maybe next year. Hellraiser 1 and 2. I got to finish the series. I know that there's a new one coming out as well with Jamie Clayton, which is great. I'm looking into that one. But I kind of want to watch all the sequels too before that, but I don't know. I don't know if I'll do Hellraiser this year. I might. I mean, like, I don't know. I don't think, like, I think the best slasher, like devolution film is probably, like, it's a tie between Jason Goes to Manhattan, or Jason Takes Manhattan, or whatever it is, and Jason X. Like, those movies, man, I mean, like, I don't think, like, I know that Hellraiser, like, goes to Mars or some shit. Hellraiser goes to the moon or some shit like that. I gotta watch that one. But I don't know, man. Jason Going to Manhattan and Jason Going to Space, like, those movies, you really, I don't know if you could beat them in that category of, like, you know, we know this is the 19th movie in this series. We're just fucking around at this point, right? Of that category, I mean, I don't think you can beat them. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I haven't seen everything. Yeah, I haven't seen all the Hellraisers yet. I haven't seen any of the Leprechaun movies, so maybe I'll look into those. But yeah, that's pretty much the show for today. Thank you all for watching, and thank you all for being here, except for Donald James. I think Donald James is having a little bit of a mental health crisis, so everyone put your thoughts and prayers into Donald James' quick recovery. But yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street 5 tonight, so watch it and be ready to hop in tomorrow, and it's going to be great. Again, we'll also be streaming on twitch.tv later. I'm going to be playing a new Doom WOD. You're going to love it. I'm going to love it. In fact, I already do love it. Some of you may know what it is. Some of you may not. I think I mentioned it earlier. Anyway, goodbye. Everyone have a wonderful fucking day.
And then they have cans of soup. And they throw the cans of soup. That's better than a brick because you can't throw a brick, it's too heavy. But a can of soup, you can really put some power into that, right? And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup from my family. They're so innocent. This is soup from my family. It's incredible. And you have people coming over with bags of soup, big bags of soup, and they lay it on the ground, and the anarchists take it and they start throwing it at our cops, at our police. And if it hits you, that's worse than a brick because it's got force. It's a perfect size. It's like made perfect. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup from my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people.
It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree.
I am not up to the job. And I mean that sincerely. It's not like,
but it's a class action lawsuit against all machines,